Let's talk about the crunch. That satisfying, audible crackle when you bite into something perfectly fried is one of life's simple pleasures. For decades, achieving that texture meant one thing: a deep fryer bubbling with hot oil. It was the undisputed champion of crispy, golden, and delicious. Suddenly, kitchens everywhere became a battleground for countertop supremacy. Is the new school technology a true replacement for the old school legend, or is it just a healthy imitation? Forget the marketing hype and the influencer posts. Here's what actually matters when you're deciding between these two radically different ways to fry. How they cook. So what's really going on inside these machines? They both promise fried food, but they get there on completely different paths. The deep fryer is straightforward and has been for a very long time. It's a tub of oil that you heat to a high temperature, typically between 350 and 375 degrees Fahrenheit. You then completely submerge the food in that oil. The magic here is direct, intense heat transfer. The hot oil envelops the food, cooking it incredibly quickly and evenly while dehydrating the surface to create that signature thick, crunchy crust we all know and love. It's a method of pure, unadulterated convection where the hot liquid does all the work, ensuring every nook and cranny of your food gets crisped simultaneously. This total immersion is what makes it so effective for things with wet batters, as the hot oil instantly sets the coating before it has a chance to drip away. The air fryer, despite its name, doesn't actually fry at all. It's essentially a small, high-powered convection oven that sits on your countertop. Inside the unit, a heating element generates intense heat, and a powerful fan circulates that hot air at very high speeds all around the food, which sits in a perforated basket. This process, known as the Maillard reaction, is what browns the food and gives it a crispy texture. It uses just a tiny amount of oil, maybe a tablespoon at most, to help conduct heat and facilitate browning. But the air is doing the heavy lifting. Think of it as turbocharged roasting. The holes in the basket are critical as they allow the hot air to hit the food from all angles, wicking away moisture and creating a crispy exterior without the need for a deep bath of oil. Health and oil use. Here's the main event, the reason the air fryer became a phenomenon in the first place. The difference in oil consumption is staggering, and it has massive implications for health. A deep fryer doesn't just use a lot of oil, it imparts it into your food. Depending on the food, it can require anywhere from 4 to 12 cups of oil just to get started. As the food cooks, it absorbs a significant amount of that oil, which dramatically increases its overall calorie and fat content. This is the fundamental trade-off of deep frying. That incredible flavor comes at a high caloric cost. An air fryer, by contrast, can achieve a crispy texture using up to 80% less fat. Often, a light spritz or a quick toss in a single tablespoon of oil is all you need. For many frozen foods that already contain some fat, like French fries or chicken nuggets, you might not need to add any oil at all. This radical reduction in oil has clear health benefits. Consuming fewer fried foods cooked in large amounts of oil is linked to better health outcomes, and the air fryer provides a direct path to that goal without forcing you to give up crispy textures entirely. Furthermore, the method of cooking matters. High-temperature frying in oil can sometimes create potentially harmful compounds. While research is ongoing, some studies suggest that air frying may reduce the formation of compounds like acrylamide compared to deep frying, simply because there's less oil and often slightly lower temperatures involved. The bottom line is clear. If your primary goal is to reduce fat and calorie intake while still enjoying foods that are crispy and browned, the air fryer is the undeniable winner in this category. It's not magic, it's just a healthier cooking method. Taste and texture. Now let's be brutally honest. If you are a purist who believes the soul of a chicken wing comes from its baptism in a vat of hot peanut oil, an air fryer is not going to perfectly replicate that exact experience. There, I said it. Deep-fried food has a specific decadent flavor and a heavier, more substantial crunch that comes directly from the oil flash cooking the surface. The oil doesn't just cook the food, it flavors it. This results in a richer, more succulent final product, especially for battered foods where the liquid coating is instantly solidified into a puffy, crunchy shell. That's a texture an air fryer simply can't reproduce because it lacks the submersion in fat. However, that doesn't mean air-fried food is bad. It's just different. The crispiness from an air fryer is a lighter, often drier, and more delicate crunch. Think of the texture of a baked potato skin versus a deep-fried one. Both are good, but they are not the same. An air fryer excels at making things uniformly crispy and brown, and for many foods, like frozen fries, roasted vegetables, or reheating leftover pizza, it produces a result that is arguably superior to any other method. But for those specific dishes defined by their deep-fried character, like beer-battered fish or tempura, the deep fryer remains the undisputed king. The choice here isn't about which is better, but about which texture you prefer and what you're cooking. Speed, batch size, and convenience. When you're hungry, speed matters, and this is where the comparison gets interesting. A deep fryer requires a significant preheating period. You have to wait for a large volume of oil to come up to the correct temperature, which can take 10 to 15 minutes. However, once it's hot, a deep fryer cooks incredibly fast. A batch of French fries might be done in under 5 minutes because the food is completely surrounded by the hot oil. This makes deep fryers very efficient for cooking larger quantities of food in successive batches. If you're cooking for a party, a deep fryer will get more food on the table faster than an air fryer. Air fryers, on the other hand, have a much shorter preheating time, often just 2 to 3 minutes. Their smaller cavity and powerful fan get them up to temperature almost instantly. Cooking times for individual batches might be longer than in a deep fryer. Think 15 to 20 minutes for fries, but the overall time from a cold start to a finished meal can be shorter for a single small batch. The main limitation of an air fryer is its size. To get food properly crispy, you need to arrange it in a single layer with space for the air to circulate. Overcrowding the basket will result in steamed, soggy food, not crispy food. This means you're limited to smaller batches. For a single person or a small family, this is perfect. For a crowd, it's less than ideal. Cost, energy, and cleanup. Finally, let's talk about the practicalities of ownership: the money, the power, and the mess. The initial purchase price for both appliances can be similar, with models available at various price points. The real difference is the ongoing cost. Deep frying is expensive. You need to buy liters of cooking oil, and that oil needs to be filtered and stored between uses or disposed of and replaced, all of which adds up over time. Air fryers, requiring only a tiny amount of oil, essentially eliminate this recurring expense. In terms of energy, it's a bit of a toss-up, but air fryers often have a slight edge. While wattages can be similar, the shorter preheating and overall cooking times for small meals mean an air fryer generally consumes less electricity per use for day-to-day tasks. But the category where the air fryer wins by a landslide is cleanup. Cleaning a deep fryer is a notoriously unpleasant chore. You have to deal with a large quantity of hot, greasy oil. It needs to cool down, then be carefully poured out, filtered for reuse, and stored or packaged for proper disposal. The fryer basket and the tub itself become coated in a sticky, greasy film that can be difficult to scrub clean. It's a messy, involved process. Cleaning an air fryer, by contrast, is a breeze. The basket and drawer are typically non-stick and can be easily washed in the sink with soap and water. Most models have dishwasher-safe components, meaning cleanup can be as simple as placing the basket in the dishwasher and wiping down the interior. For many users, this sheer convenience and the absence of a greasy mess is the single biggest reason to choose an air fryer over a deep fryer.